another show in the blink of an eye with yours truly, Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan from Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. Hope you're having a great Sunday, enjoying your family and doing what you do on Sundays. What we do is we take care of your cars. And I'm here today in Weslaco, once again with my colleague and our manager here at Weslaco, Pueblo Tires and Service, Mr. David Muniz. How you doing, David?
Very good, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for the invite again. Always a pleasure to be here.
Well, David, you know, this is our business, and we're here to share information with the public, with the community that will help you maintain your car. We were talking, David, earlier how, you know, there's still people, you know, we know that people are holding on to their cars up to 12 years and longer. What's the longest you've ever had a car, David? Do you know? I mean, do you remember?
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, the one I'm driving right now, actually, it's been in our family for like 18, 19 years.
Wow.
So yeah, we've had that one. That's been our longest, but you know, it's still running strong. Of course, we take care of it.
What kind of car is it?
The maintenance. It's a Toyota Tacoma.
Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, you know, I think a lot of folks have had cars longer or up to that, maybe not 18 years, but sometimes cars become emotional, right? There's an emotional tie. Like I said, it's been in the family. Is there a nickname for that car?
Well, there is. The reason we've held on to it, you know, it's the first truck I bought for my son when he was going to school.
There you go.
So he really, he's all, you know, grown up, college and everything he's done. So he's working good, but he doesn't want to sell it because it's the first truck, you know, we bought him.
So, but he doesn't want to keep it either.
No, it's in our house.
He said, Daddy, you take care of it.
Yes, there's something like that.
But
yeah.
it's still mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people out there who have an emotional attachment to their vehicle.
Yes, that's exactly
like he
what
said,
it is.
it was the first vehicle. It was a vehicle where you brought your son home from the hospital. That's the first vehicle that when your son was born.
No, when he graduated high school.
Okay,
Yes.
It was a special event.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks have a car that say, you know what, this car, we bought it, and it was when my son was born or my daughter.
Yeah.
The first time we drove it home from the hospital, this is our car. And they've held on to it ever since because there's an emotional attachment to our vehicles, just like with a puppy or, you know, an animal. But again, we're here to help you. And David, speaking of what you just said, 18 years on that car. It's what year is it? A 20, what?
It's an 01.
01. So what's the secret to maintaining a car that long? You just said it a while ago.
Well, yes. I mean, of course, when you keep a vehicle that long, you have to keep up with your maintenance. Mm-hmm. You know, that is a must. You know, your regular oil changes, coolant flushes, you brake flush, because everything, you know, within time gets contaminated.
That's
and
right.
You want to get rid of all those fluids and put fresh new fluids in there.
Do you recall what's the most expensive component you've had to replace?
Honestly, I mean, just the regular tune-up, but as of, you know, engine-wise, no. I mean, just
Transmission?
no, tampoco.
Wow, so
Yeah, those they keep going. I mean, they're good vehicles.
they're good vehicles. But the key is the maintenance. I mean,
Exactly, you know, and of course brakes, rotors,
Right.
You know,
the oil
just
change,
regular-
like I said, rotation of the tires.
Yes.
So whatever vehicle you have, again, the key is maintenance, preventative maintenance. And, you know, here at Pueblo Tires and Service, we've got folks like David, who's been with the company for, how long, David? 20-some years?
Oh my God, it's past 30, Ben.
Yeah, so you got experience, David, and I know you're the type of man that, in person, who, when somebody walks in here, you see maybe, you know, a younger person with a vehicle, and they're concerned, right? Or,
Of course.
hey, they say, hey, I just bought this car, it's used, and, you know, this is what we know. People want to say, hey, how can I make my car perfect? Well, there's two ways to make your car perfect. One is with money and time. You got to invest a little bit of money. and it's going to take a little bit of time. You know, whether it's any kind of service takes a little bit of time.
Of course.
And that can help make your car, you know, in your eyes perfect. But we know that nothing is perfect, but you can extend the life of the components of your vehicle. Here's a perfect example. It's give us a year, make, and model of the car again.
2001 Tacoma, Toyota Tacoma.
Toyota Tacoma. So again, and he hasn't had a major breakdown other than the tune-ups, oil change, brakes, rotation. So again, there are vehicles out there that, you know, quality-wise, yeah, you could say in Toyota Tacoma. I've had a Toyota Tacoma myself. Excuse me. I had a truck, a work truck, and I could, you know, we did the mains on it, and man, that thing lasts forever.
Yeah, they do.
And there's a lot of cars, in American-made cars, that can last forever just as well. But again, if you don't follow the recommended maintenance, you can have some serious problems.
Oh yeah, I mean, it don't matter what you get. I mean, if you don't do the maintenance, we hadn't done maintenance on this vehicle, it wouldn't be around.
Right.
You know, because that's very important to do.
And folks, our show today, we just, again, want to remind you of certain things like preventative maintenance. David was saying, we also want you to know that we have, tell us a little bit about this program right here, David.
Okay, this is about our credit. It's, you apply on it like for financial. It's called Credit First National, and it's through, it would have our logo on the card, but it's through Credit First National. It's electronic, of course. You can just text the word Pueblo to this number, and it'll be on your phone. Very, very simple to do. It takes a few minutes, and they will let you know whether you're qualified within minutes.
Within minutes.
And it does give you 6 months, same as cash. You know, it's a pretty good card to have, and it doesn't, there's no annual fees on it.
Okay. And we have other financing options.
Yes, we do. I mean, we have various types of financing. We have one that goes off of your credit, ones that's a no credit needed. It just depends on what type of finance that person is looking for, and we do have.
Yeah, up to 24 months to pay,
Up to
and no
24
credit
months
needed. Well, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back in the blink of an eye with David Muniz, manager here at Pueblo Tires and Service in Weslaco, Texas.
This preventative maintenance minute is supported by Pueblo Tires and Service. Are you making a summer getaway plan? Good for you. On any given day, there's over 125 million cars in the road in the U.S., meaning your car is literally 1 in 100 million. Having your vehicle properly serviced before a trip can go a long way in keeping your family safe on the road. That's right. Here are a couple of the many services we offer at Pueblo Tires and Service to help you get the most out of your summer getaway. Oil change. Oil lowers friction to help keep your engine cool. It also keeps the intricate engine parts moving smoothly. When oil is old or dirty, it's more sticky, scratchy, which makes your engine run hotter and wear out parts faster. Regular oil changes are so important. Protect your investment. And at Pueblo Tires, we offer financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right. Look us up on shampoozy.com. Dance!
Welcome back to In the Blink of an Eye. We're talking to David Muniz, our manager here at Weslaco, Texas, Pueblo Tires and Service. And we've mentioned about preventative maintenance. Some of you have cars, pickups that you've held on to 10 years or longer. Some of you have new cars and you've got warranty, and that's great. Right now, David, we're still experiencing a shortage of cars. We just recently came back from a trip. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and before that, I was in Las Vegas. And we're attending these workshops where a group of independent tire dealers like ourselves and some representatives of car dealerships get together for a workshop. And we all learn, we have similarities with dealerships. We're not a dealership, but we are a one-stop shop. We don't sell cars, but we sell time, we sell service, and we're here to help you keep your car in the best running condition. And David, one thing that's happening in our country, and I think around the world, there's a shortage of there's a back orders of a lot of products out there. Unfortunately, we have to say there's a little bit of back orders when it comes to tires. The price of shipments overseas has gone through the roof, but we're all in the same boat. It's not just Pueblo Tires. This affects all our our community, our nation, everybody who's got products like us, tires and service, they're all affected the same way. But what can we do to help you? Well, we mentioned one way, financing options. The other one is giving you advice when it comes to preventative maintenance. And here David is a witness to that. He's got a 2001 Toyota Tacoma, 21 years old.
Yep.
And the secret is the longevity is the preventative maintenance. And there's an emotional attachment to that vehicle, like you mentioned. It was when his son graduated, right?
Right, yes.
And it's still in the family. And I'm sure you don't want to get rid of it.
No. We're
Right.
going to keep it, just
Yeah, I mean, it's
do
an
the
emotional
maintenance
attachment.
on it, and she should be good.
Have you had to paint it or not?
Yeah, we
really?
did that once.
Really?
We did that once, yes.
Well, there you go. So, folks, again, some of you might have some people call their cars, this is my baby, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is me. They have a black pickup. Esta es mi prietita.
Yeah,
Or whatever. El palomo. You get nicknames for your vehicles, and we understand that because, again, we've got families, and we also have experiences similar to yours. But our business, and we're thankful, we're proud to say that we've been open from day one since the pandemic hit. We've never had to shut down because of pandemic circumstances, thank God. We've had some of our employees get sick, but thank God they've survived and they recuperated and they're back at work. The one time that we shut down, I think it was for a couple of days. Remember when we had that freeze?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But that was something different, right? I mean, the freeze, that we couldn't do nothing. The computers were down, everything was down. But through it all and all, we just want to remind you folks that we're here to help you with your car. And, we're not the cheapest in town. We're not the biggest, but we're proud to say that we're the best. And if you haven't visited us at any of our 13 locations, we have locations in Brownsville all the way to Rio Grande City, and up north we have Alice and Kingsville. We've got 13 locations open from Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you can look us up on shampoozy.com. And David, again, now we're in the fall season. Winter's just around the corner. We have a saying here in the valley that here in Texas, South Texas, the weather's hot and hotter. I mean, but, we experience a winter freeze, man, like never before, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows what's around the corner? So what can we do now, David, to prepare for the upcoming, cold weather? Could you give us some advice on that?
Sure. Definitely, with this season coming up, Ben, I would recommend a coolant flush. Make sure you have good antifreeze in there and fresh.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the coolant flush before we move forward. How often should a person do a coolant flush on their vehicle? I mean, once a year, once every 6 months? What is the recommendation?
Once a year.
Once a year?
Yeah, once a year. Just, of course, in between that time, just make sure you're always at a full level, because you don't want that vehicle getting hot on you, or if vehicle leaks, if hose damages, you got a water pump, there's, this coolant runs throughout the engine. And if you have a leak anywhere, of course, it's going to leak it out. And you need to add some to it or find out if it is leaking, where from to repair that. And at that time, you definitely put some more, fresh antifreeze on that vehicle.
I remember once upon a time, David, when we used to, cars were very simpler then, much simpler than today's cars. But we would put, half of a gallon of antifreeze and the rest with water. I mean, is that still applied today, or is there a different mixture for each vehicle depending on the year, make, and model?
There is. It's not like I remember the days you were saying you're talking about. Yeah, we used to buy 1 gallon, half a gallon, and half a gallon. Yeah, you're good to go. No, it's not like that anymore. One of the reasons why is a lot of blocks and heads are aluminum.
Okay.
And what happens is some of that antifreeze, that old antifreeze, might corrode it. Will eat up the aluminum on the inside. So they do make nowadays. They even make an Asian antifreeze. They make a GM antifreeze. So I would definitely be careful. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, be careful what you do, because you might, instead of doing a good thing for your vehicle, you might be doing a bad thing.
Damage.
So yes, you need to know what to put in it. Once you figure that out, you'd be okay.
Is that why there's a different variety of colors?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not just, oh, I want a blue one, or I'll take an orange one today.
No, not just because it looks pretty. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no.
It's got something to do with.
Yes, what they do, the product that's in there, to protect that engine, which is
Right.
what you want to do, protect the engine, protect the radiator.
And something you mentioned that it's happened to me again with my simpler cars in the old days, that if there's a leak, and it might be a tiny leak, but if there's a consistent leak, before you know it, your car can overheat if you don't notice it, or you don't pay attention to it, or you ignore it. And some of those leaks happen through the water hoses. Our water pumps today more complicated than ever.
Oh my God, yes.
I used to replace water pumps in my own vehicles.
Yeah, no, again, it's not the same. Before, it used to be right in front of the vehicle. The
Yeah.
fan would work it, and, you had 6-8 bolts, you're good to go.
I had a vehicle once. I was working in Houston, and it came out after work. It was 3:30 in the afternoon. That was the time we would get out. So there was plenty of sunshine. Oh man, there was a puddle of water. Immediately I knew, oh, that's a water pump. So, but back in those days, just get somebody to help you. Go to the parts, buy the water pump, remove the screws,
Yeah.
put a gasket with a silicone, put it on top. You're good to go. Add water.
Yeah, you just needed a half-inch and 9/16 range, you were good to go.
It's not the same thing today.
No, sir, it's not, no.
Well, folks, again, at Pueblo, what we're going to do when you come in here, we're going to check your car. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We have a system, a process, and the whole idea behind it, again, is to protect your car, your investment. Because other than our houses, our cars are probably the most expensive investment we'll ever make in our lives. We're going to take another little break, and we'll be back in the blink of an eye.
This preventative maintenance minute is supported by Pueblo Tires and Service. Keeping your engine cool is a critical job. Without it, the engine melts into a solid block. It helps keep the water pump, radiator, hoses, and liquid coolant working to protect your engine from excess heat. Coolant exchange makes sure your coolant can do its job, keeping the engine cool. It also gets rid of any acid that builds up in the coolant, keeps the engine from locking up or boiling over, and helps prevent corrosion. Fresh coolant has chemicals to help slow any rust or corrosion, so your radiator will live longer too. Let our trained technicians at Pueblo Tires and Service clean your system of old, tired, dirty coolant and refill it with the correct new coolant for your car or truck. And at Pueblo, we offer you financing options up to 24 months to pay and no credit needed. That's right. Look us up on shampoozy.com. Dance!
Welcome back. Here with Benjamin Valdez, El Capitan, and Pueblo Tires and Service, and David Muniz, our manager here at Pueblo Tires and Service in Weslaco, Texas. David, what's the address to your location here?
That it would be 720 North Texas Boulevard, Weslaco, Texas, boys.
And the phone number?
Phone number would be 956-968-8473.
There you go. And look us up on shampoozy.com. You have a reader board out there, David. You're one of the only two stores that Pueblo Tires has a reader board. You have the conventional sign, Pueblo Tires and Service, lights up at night, very pretty, right?
Right,
It's got those LED lights, and you can see it from a mile away. You can see it from the expressway. But that reader board it's also, if you have a chance, it's scrolling, it's mentioning services and so forth. And it's our way to, again, just let you know what we offer. But if you go to our website on shampoozy.com, you'll find our services, our products, our hours, locations, and so forth. We also have another program, another service that we're offering, David. You're not involved directly, but indirectly you're involved because it's part of Pueblo Tires Service, and that's called llantas.com. Llantas.com. weslaco.com, and it's a mobile tire service. We have 2 trucks in the valley. One's in San Juan, Texas. The other one's in Brownsville. And what that is that we can come to you, whether it's your home or your business, to install the tires that you purchased from us. That's right. We come to you. So look us up on llantas.com for more information, for more details. David, we can go on and on about, we just mentioned antifreeze and water pumps and hoses and belts, how important it is. The weather's going to be changing. Again, here, we don't expect it, but who expected that freeze just last year? I mean, it was incredible, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've never experienced something like that in my life here in the valley, and I'm in my 60s. Neither have you, I don't think. There's been some freezes in the past, but that one was something else.
It was a cold.
The whole state of Texas was under freeze, and there was a lot of problems, right? After that,
Oh, my
I'm sure you had a lot of cars coming here with.
Yes.
Could you mention some of those problems that you had to address?
Yes, one of them, of course, it's mainly on cars. Lower vehicles, water getting in the inside the vehicle once. Other one on the differentials, water in the transmissions, water will get in the power steering and the engine oil. I mean, when water gets in there, into your vehicle as far as your engine, power steering, differentials, it does do some damage. There's a lot of damage.
The freeze, right? The ice that formed in there, the condensation or the water that it was able to leak into some of these components.
Well, yes. Let me back up a little bit. I thought you were talking about we had the rain. No, on the
freeze.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm sorry. Okay, on the freeze, what that does, it again, comes back to your antifreeze. If you have pure water on your antifreeze, of course, what happens? Water freezes, it expands,
Right.
and it'll damage your radiator.
Seals.
Even the blocks on the engine, we had a couple of instances here where the customer had regular water. After that, when the ice expanded, it ruined the engine because you get a hairline on the block itself.
And now that's also due because of lack of antifreeze.
Antifreeze, exactly.
So again, we don't know what's around the corner. I mean, the weather we're in the fall season, winter's coming up, so it's better to be prepared.
Yes, of course, and antifreeze is one of them. It's just like what it's called. It's anti-freeze.
Antifreeze, exactly.
So that helps. The radiator,
Prevent.
the engine. Exactly.
And one thing, David, that we do here, and one of the processes that we have is we thoroughly check your car. We check the belts, the hoses, even the belts today. I know once upon a time, belts were easier to detect and when they were damaged. Or now I understand you also use some kind of a meter to gauge, like a gauge on the belt itself.
There is a gauge to check. What's called the serpentine belts, the thick belts. Those are serpentine belts. Occasionally, you would have one regular belt on the vehicle, but mainly it's serpentine now. But yes, they do go bad within time. What happens is, the heat.
Right.
The heat. That's the number one for belts, hoses.
So when belts, hoses, windshield wipers, they all have a combination of rubber, synthetic rubber, or they have rubber that's made from trees. I mean, it comes from trees, but there's also some synthetic rubber. But whatever the case is, rubber can deteriorate with the weather, with dust, with heat, with cold. And the windshield wipers is another thing that we recommend you replace them at least every 6 months, because there's a little strip of rubber on your windshield wiper.
Yes.
And that can also deteriorate with time. So I hope that what we're sharing with you is helpful. Pay attention to your car's needs. There's a book, there's a manual in your car if you still have it, and if you don't, if you're seeking advice, call David here in Weslaco. Give us the number again, David, please.
956-968-8473.
There you go. You can look us up on shampoozy.com. You can call any of our stores. We're here today in Weslaco, and we're talking with David Muniz, manager here at Weslaco Pueblo Tires and Service. And David, we're going to take one more little break, and then we'll be back in the blink of an eye.
¿Qué? ¿Pueblo Tires ahora está ofreciendo tienda de llantas móviles? Así es, y lo mejor es que venimos a ti. Shampoozy, zapatea la mula, que baile. Shampoozy.com.
Welcome back. We're about to wind up our discussion today, our discussion with David Muniz and talking about cars, and we could go on and on and on. Some vehicles have up to 1,000 components, and every one of them has a purpose. Now, sometimes some of those components break. Doesn't mean your car's going to stop, but you have a dashboard in your car, and modern vehicles have dashboards with lights, all kinds of lights that can turn on. Don't ignore them, but don't panic. If it turns on, give us a call, come visit us, and if you have difficulties doing that, give us a call and we'll see how we can help you. Don't forget, we have another service called llantas.com where we come to you to install new tires in your vehicle that you purchase from us. Look us up on llantas.com. David, some final words of advice to the community when it comes to their cars and preventative maintenance.
No, pues as far as maintenance, they of course they can come to us for preventive maintenance, maintenance that is needed on the vehicles. Of course, you know, we do the brakes, suspension, steering, air conditioning, but we always need the air conditioning, on our winter time because you have those hot days, no?
Yep.
And but yeah, we can take care of it. Check your vehicle out, and we can do that for you.
All right. Well, folks, if you haven't visited us, we invite you to visit us at Pueblo Tire Service. We're here in the valley, from Brownsville all the way to Rio Grande, and up north we have Alice and Kingsville. If you're making any kinds of plans to travel or not, give us a shot, give us a call, give us an opportunity. Again, we're here to serve you, take care of your car, and just like David's old vehicle, he's got a vehicle that's 21 years old. It's got an emotional attachment to the family, and it's still running and still going good just because of preventive maintenance. And that can help you avoid costly repairs. And if you need any advice, we're here to give it as well. Again, we thank you on behalf of Pueblo Tires and Service, your family car care center. We've been in the business for 49 years, going on 50 years, thank God. At the end of this year, we'll be celebrating 50-year anniversary, and we thank God and we thank the community, especially here in Weslaco. David, you live near here in Weslaco, correct?
No, actually, I live in La Feria.
In La Feria, so you're a La Feria guy.
Yeah.
But were you born in La Feria?
No, I was born in Michigan.
Oh, that's right. You're a Wolverine.
Yeah.
You're a Michigan Wolverine. That's why you got the mustache there, man. The Wolverine mustache.
There we go.
Well, folks, again, we thank you. What can we say? We're thankful. It's 49 years. It's something. I've been here 25. You've been here what? Overall together, what?
Like 31, 32.
So you've seen it grow. You've seen the changes in technology, and we've seen that. Right now, we're in a different kind of world. The pandemic's still here. Take care of yourself, but we're here to help take care of your car. And don't forget that there's nobody out there that loves you or appreciates you more than Pueblo Tires and Service. Nobody.